Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, it's not going to be a long exaggerated voiceover because I do have a headache, but firstly I did just want to come speak to you guys, ask you guys how you are doing. Thank you for also clicking on today's video. But as you guys see, I am just starting to pick out my nail sizes. I'm going to be doing some acrylic nails today. I'm going to be using a lot of KIARA SKY products. So make sure to check the links down below if you see any products that you might want to try out. Also, I do have a discount code for KIARA SKY, so also make sure to check that out. I did just go ahead and pick out my nail tips. I'm going to be using the square tips from KIARA SKY. And to apply them, I am just going to be using the Step 3 Builder Gel and their Sensor Light. This is going to be a really quick acrylic set. And I'm also going to be using the other version that I have of these digital nail art templates. I got this from KC Nails. I did show these in a previous video, like a couple videos back. I'm not sure which one it is, but basically if you haven't seen that video, these are just digital nail art templates where you can draw on your design, plan them out. There's a lot of reasons these would come in handy. I know for me, I procrastinate a lot. Sometimes I have a lot of ideas in my head, but when it's time to do them, I just completely forget. So that is just a nice way for me to like write out my designs, draw them out the best I can, and then convert them over to a nail set. And that's basically what I did for this one. She gifted me 2 templates to try out. I did try my extra long, I think it was like the extra long 3XL, one of those, and I did do some acrylic press on nails, but I also wanted to try out the shorter size. The template I'm using today is the square medium, so I am just cutting down my nail tips accordingly. I didn't want them to be like really short, but you know, just long enough to where I can do what I feel like I need to do. And on her website, she do have a lot of different shapes, from almond, square, coffin, stiletto. She has every shape and size, from extendos to like the really short natural lengths. So please make sure to check those out. The last time I was on her website, they were like $1.99, and once you buy them, you can use them forever because they are digital like sheets. They have like the PNG where it's easier to put colors in the background. They are very easy to edit. So yeah, I'll put her website down below if you guys want to check these out. And also, she just posted a tutorial on how like you can edit them, what app you can use, basically just giving you tips and tricks, and that is on her Instagram account, so that will also be down below. But yeah, like I said, I am just gonna do a really quick acrylic set using a lot of KIARA SKY products, and I'm basically just gonna let most of the video play out until I get into like the nail art portion. That's where I'm gonna need to speak a little bit more. So as this play out, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys once I'm done with my acrylic application. So here are the nails once I finished doing all of my acrylic application. I did want these nails to be a little bit on the thinner side because I did not want to have to go in and file so much. So this is what they look like. I think I did a pretty good job with the application. And then I did go ahead and shape file and buff off camera, and this is what it looks like. I did mess up a little bit around the cuticle, like on my middle nail and my ring finger. You can see where there's like this little part where I kind of fouled too much, but once I add on my cuticle oil, I doubt you would even see it. So for the nail art, like I said, I am going to be using a lot of KIARA SKY products. So I do have these gel liners here. I did pull out some pink and green because as you guys saw from my templates, that is going to be my theme color. And I did pull out 2 sets of pink and green because I wasn't sure which colors I wanted to go for. The ones with the black paper on it are like darker bold colors, and then the one with the white papers are like more pastel. They're like really light. So I just pulled them out. I'm not really sure which one I wanted to use, but I am going to be using the white gel liner to do some Frenches. And when I did those acrylic Frenches in like my 90s nail art video, I do think that was like my last video that I posted. I really love how the French tips look, so I'm gonna do my Frenches exactly the same way except a little higher up. They're in the normal spot of a French tip, but it do have like that 90s type of vibe where it's not like a really deep French. It's more of like a half circle, if you guys get what I'm saying. So I did that, and I really love how the Frenches turned out. And these were a lot easier as well. They were a lot easier to get even, a lot easier to just get done. And I will definitely start to do more of these Frenches because I just really love how they look, whether it's a 90s nail set or not. Like, I just really like these a lot. So once I do my Frenches, I'll go ahead and cure these on, and then we can start with the rest of the design. So yeah, I did some cleanup and I went ahead and cured those in the light, and this is where the fun part come in. So referring back to my template, as you guys see, there is like this little flower here on my middle finger, but of course it doesn't show exactly what I want. I knew what I want, but I just can't achieve that look on these templates, so I did try my best. And I am going to be doing those 3D flowers that's like really popular. I know they give such a like tropical vibe, and I really love how they look. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing on here. The tutorial I saw for how to do these were a really good one, and this is the exact products you use. So how I'm starting this off is I'm picking up some with like this little cuticle pusher tool, and then just rolling out some balls inside of my palm and then placing them onto my nail palette, because I don't want to keep having to go back in once I place them on the nail. I just feel like this way was a lot easier and a lot faster. And I really love that this is not a very sticky product. I cannot stand working with products that's too sticky. It just becomes so overwhelming, and I just don't really want to use it. And even on like the jar, it does says like it doesn't stick to your hands. And I didn't have any problem with it sticking, so that was wonderful. So I did roll out about 5 balls here, and now it's time to place them on my nail. So as I placed them on like the nail palette, they did start to like stick to it a little bit. So as I pick them up, I will have to roll them out into a ball again. But I am just going to be placing them on my nail, and right when I placed my first one, I did see that these were going to be really huge. So instead of using all 5, I just used 4. And that's basically how I'm going to be starting this off. And it's honestly rather easy. I did love the process of this because I think the flower turned out really cute in my opinion. And keep in mind, this is my first time actually trying to attempt this flower, like this really trendy flower. Once I have them placed where I want, I am starting to go in with a silicone tool using the more pointier side. That way it helps like get the flower petal how you want. Basically just fanning that out from the center. And as you guys see, this is starting to get really huge. Like this is a huge flower. I did not expect them to be this big. But I did just keep going because I did not want to have to take this off. But for the flowers, if you do want a little bit more like depth and shape, you can just go ahead and shape the ending parts of the petal how you want. I know for this design, I did just kind of taper in the middle just a little bit, so it's not like perfectly round, and that just kind of gave it more of like that flower shape I wanted. And once I'm satisfied, I basically just go ahead and pop it into the light. But this flower is so freaking huge. I did not know if I wanted to cure this or not. Like right before I cured it, there was like this split decision. I was like, should I remove it, try it again with smaller circles? But there was like this split decision. I just went ahead and put them into the light. I was like, I don't think it's that bad. So I went ahead and cured it. I know like looking back, like this is a huge flower. I know not to do them this huge anymore, but again, this is my first time. I went ahead and cured it, not really overthinking it. So I did go ahead and cure that in the light, and it cures so nicely as well. I did go ahead and pull out my airbrush. I got this from Temu. If the link is still there, I will have it down below. But this is basically what these colors look like. Like I said, the ones with the black label on it, those are like more darker, and the whites are more lighter. So what I end up doing is I'm just gonna mix these colors, because for one, I feel like the darker ones wasn't really like the shade I want, but I felt like adding the lighter shade to it, it will probably make it like what I needed it to be, if that makes sense. So since I couldn't really decide, I just end up mixing them, and what I'm using to mix these are acetone. I feel like acetone just works best, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And once I mix them inside of the little liquid holder, whatever it's called, I am just going to start airbrushing this onto my nails how I want. On my nail template, I did have my airbrush nails, my index and my ring finger, but once I was looking at it, I just end up switching the pinky design with the ring finger. So if you see it backwards once I place it up on the screen, don't pay that any mind. I did just feel like it would be better spaced out, so yeah, I did end up switching those. And then also, it wasn't part of the plan, but I did go ahead and airbrush on my flower as well. And once I got my first layer done, I did just go ahead and cure this. You want to make sure that you cure this because you are spraying on gel polish. So if you go in add top coat or rub it or anything, it's gonna come off. So you want to make sure that you cure the layers before you finish. Go in with a second layer or anything like that. I did 2 layers of it, just airbrushing on the pink where I want. And since I had so much of this left over, y'all, I thought I was onto something, like trying to save this mixture. Literally, like the mixture started to separate inside of that little jar even before I was done with this nail set. So yeah, that didn't even work. But I do have this huge airbrush liquid set from Amazon and I want to test it out. I have a really cool idea in mind and that's kind of what I'm saving it for, so you guys will see that very soon. But I did just go ahead and mix up the green the same way I did the pink and just spraying it on my nails where I want that color to be. And I just love this pink and green color combination so much. After I did my green, I did go ahead and cure that, go in with the second layer. Me spraying this on my flower wasn't a part of the plan either, but like I said, it just kind of happened as I was doing it. I feel like a lot of things happen like that. But before I get to it, I am just doing some cleanup really quick because I don't really want it on like the base of my nails, just where like my French tip is. So I make sure to clean that, go ahead and cure this. And again, I did attempt to save my liquid mixture, but I ended up having to throw that away. But now that I got all of my airbrush cured on, I did just put some of that on my nail palette. I mixed the colors like I did inside of my airbrush system little container thingy. So I did that on my nail palette, so it's actually like the same colors that I spray on. And I am just going back in with my flower, just adding more pink in the middle. I feel like with this you can get more like in those grooves and it's a lot more like saturated. So I did that, cured that on. I did pull out some chrome powder. This was not in my mind when creating this look on like the little digital templates. This is one of the things I also just kind of threw in while I was doing my nails. So since the gel polish still have a tacky layer on it, I haven't wiped down my nails yet, so the chrome powder should stick exactly how I want, where like it's not freshly cured, so it doesn't have like that fresh tacky layers, so it's not going to be like really chrome, but just enough to where like I get it how I want. And so I did just go ahead and put that on my white Frenches, which was my thumb and my ring finger now. After making sure to remove some of that extra powder dust from my nails, I am going to go in with some Blossom Gel just lightly over my French. I'm not going to make this too thick because that's going to make it spread even more. So the thicker the layer, the more it's going to spread and vice versa. And I didn't want it to spread like a lot, so I went in with a really thin layer. Then just taking a dotting tool, putting on my little dots for my croc print. And again, just doing some light cleanup before I pop these into the light. Next, I'm going to be taking my Crazy Thick Gel, and this is going to be like my little 3D designs. I don't know if you guys can tell like from the picture, that's obviously not how I want these to look, but I knew what I was going for, so that's kind of how I did it to demonstrate how I wanted it on my nails. And this is more of like the trendier looks where everyone is doing like this little 3D design. I did try it one time on like some orange flower encapsulated polygel nails, but I feel like they didn't turn out how I wanted them to. But I do like this product, and I did like how they looked on this nail. I wasn't really going for like too much of a pattern, I just kind of wanted it there. So I feel like with that, it also wasn't like much to kind of judge or like much to hate, if that makes sense. So I did just go in, dip my nail art brush into this Crazy Thick Gel, and the way this is really gonna work is you let it build up on the tip of the brush and then just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. Make sure most of that is coming off like right at the beginning, and then just kind of make it thin out. That's just the best way I can explain it. And like I said, there wasn't really too much to kind of judge, so I was fine with how they turned out. Then of course I'm going to be doing this to my other nail as well, and then go ahead and cure them for 30 seconds. Even though it wasn't planned, the chrome powder ended up on each one of my nails, and I really liked how it turned out. But now it's time to add on my top coat and just kind of finish up my design. So I do have a bling box sitting on my table here, but I didn't end up using any of them only because the rhinestones were like really big, and I wanted them mostly on like my flower nail, but obviously I couldn't really fit them anywhere, so I did switch out my rhinestones. I did add some pearls and like some other smaller green and pink ones, which you will see when I get there, but for now I am just adding top coat to all of my other nails. So as you guys can see, on my middle nail, on my template design, I did plan to put rhinestones like surrounding the flower, but since this flower is so huge, I'm not able to really see the base of my nails. I did just end up putting some in the center of it, and that footage was kind of everywhere, so I just showed a little glance of it, and now I'm adding on some cuticle oil to renourish my cuticles. And once I rub this in, I love this cuticle oil, by the way. It's the Young Nails one that I just unboxed in my last video. Once I rub that in to renourish everything, this is how the finished set looks, and I really love the way they look. Like on the template it kind of looks all over the place, but now that I got them on my nail, I really love how they turned out. Also, adding that chrome powder was just like the touch that it needed. I really love the look that it gave. It kind of made them look a little bit more like softer. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just really love the way this turned out. And also for my flower, I love my flower in a weird way. Like, obviously this is too big and probably not ideal to wear on your nails, but since this was my first time, like, I don't know, it's just one of those things that I just really love. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this video. All of the products I use are linked down below. Check out my discount code from KIARA SKY if there's anything that you saw and might want to check out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, so let me know what you thought about today's set, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.